Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be continuing our journey around the world in 80 days. I'll link the playlist up there to parts 1 and 2, days 1 through 40, but they're not required to watch today's video. So if you want to stick around and watch this one, that's fine. Or if you want to start at the very beginning, you have that option. But let's get into our adventure. This is a travel magazine for tourists wanting to get information about exploring the world, so it's a little leaning more toward the travel aspect, not so much facts, but it's still really wonderful. We are in Italy for days 41 through 45 under the Tuscan sun. The popular region on the coast of central Italy is rich in art and architecture and offers a picturesque landscape of rolling hills, mountains, and valleys, lush with vineyards and fertile olive groves. The area boasts its own signature cuisine and counts more than 50 designated wine appellations, which means a particular growing region has been recognized for meeting viniculture criteria, including soil type and winemaking tradition, aimed at maintaining classic standards for classifications of wine. Home to no less than 7 main grape-growing regions, Tuscany is considered the king of Chianti, made from the Sangiovese grape. But Tuscan prowess doesn't stop there. Super Tuscan wines that emerged from the creative rebellion of Tuscan vintners in the 1970s are also highly rated. These wines, created using a blend of grapes from outside the Tuscan growing region, considered shocking at the time, were not allowed to be labeled as a specific type of wine as per appellation requirements, and instead were called table wines. When critics tasted the wine, however, they pronounced it too good for such a mediocre moniker, and the class of Super Tuscans was born. Wine tours and tastings throughout the region are best paired with a local guide who can enhance the experience with local history, lore, knowledge of the region's wine and winemakers, not to mention the crucial role of designated driver. For those looking for an even more educational experience, private winemaking workshops are available with an exclusive price to match. Guests are introduced to the basics of wine production by an expert oenologist who will also assist you to bottle and label your very own vino. Best souvenir ever. Of course, wine is only half the story. Tuscany's culinary traditions are a world unto themselves, and the perfect complement to a newfound appreciation for wine. Tuscan food celebrates the marriage between fresh local ingredients and a legendary passion for bread. Panzanella, a regional staple, is literally bread salad. Gorgeous seasoned croutons are tossed with sun-ripened vegetables, tuna, capers, and of course olive oil. The fettunta is the Tuscan version of bruschetta, thick slices of toasted bread rubbed generously with olive oil and garlic and sprinkled with salt. Papa al pomodoro is bread tomato soup. Although ingredients can vary, it's basically bread, tomatoes, and olive oil. Yes, please. And for the adventurous, there is lampredotto, made from the fourth stomach of a cow and sold at street stalls throughout Florence. Find it by looking for the long lines of locals and tourists. Whether you plan your own food tasting itinerary, hire a guide, or join a group, eating your way through Tuscany engages all the senses. Cooking classes and workshops abound. Learn how to make pasta with a talented nonna, or Italian grandmother, in her own farmhouse kitchen, or take group or private lessons in a commercial kitchen. Make your own cacio e pepe, pasta with cheese and pepper, in Florence, or accompany a chef on an excursion to the local market. Then learn the secrets of handmade pasta, pizza, gelato, and more. October in Tuscany is truffle hunting season. Truffles, aka subterranean mushrooms, are part of the fungi family and recognized as a rare and expensive delicacy. Currently, black truffles sell for about $103 per ounce, and the rarer white truffles cost upward of $300 an ounce. Intrepid travelers can join trained dogs and professional truffle hunters in digging up the fragrant, earthy, elusive tubers, followed by a truffle tasting and a chef-led cooking class to learn how to prepare and use the truffles in classic dishes, which you ultimately will sit down to enjoy. Saluti, we'll toast to that. So what do we have up here? We have panzanella, the bread salad, cacio e pepe, basic pasta, lampredotto, and let me see, fatunta. That looks really good. And of course, gelato. Yum, 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 yum. Next, we're going up, and away in Cappadocia, Turkey. And I think this is my favorite picture in the whole magazine because you have all the fairy chimneys back there, all of the beautiful balloons, and then her gorgeous dress, the color of the sunrise. Oh, I love this photo. Cappadocia is not a city, but instead a UNESCO-listed historical region made up of large urban centers and villages that have flourished upon the lunar-like plateau of volcanic rock for more than 3 millennia, both above ground and below. Predating blockbuster science fiction movies by several thousand years, early civilizations carved subterranean tunnels in cities 279 feet below the surface of Earth. As many as 20,000 people and their livestock are believed to have once sought refuge and concealment in 18-level hand-hewn living spaces, organized to include living and sleeping quarters, food preparation and storage areas, wineries, freshwater wells, and more. Here's Dead Mercury, one of the more famous ones. Hold on. There we go. Above ground, enormous towering pillars and conical mushroom-shaped hoodoos, like jagged peaks rising from the earth, also called fairy chimneys or tent rocks, are pockmarked with hand-carved caves that once served as homes, cooking spaces, and even an 11th century monastery. The Byzantine-era dark church, complete with classical cathedral design, 4 central pillars, hand-painted murals, and domed ceilings. Past the honeycomb of these lofty abandoned perches, vividly colored hot air balloons glide silently each day. Ascending before dawn, hundreds of airships, carrying 8 to 28 passengers depending on the season, soar into the heavens for a bird's-eye view of the fairy chimneys of Cappadocia and the mysterious mountainous facade below. Although the best time for ballooning in Cappadocia is in the spring, which is April to June, and fall, which is September to October, guided tours are conducted year-round. The best tour companies will provide pilots with more than 5 years of experience, a well-sited launch pad, good reviews, and often a pre-flight breakfast and a champagne toast with cake upon landing. Be sure to inquire about the most comfortable attire for your trip. Check the weather and pack accordingly. It's no fun drinking champagne if you're shivering. To witness more than 160 balloons lift off at once, head to the annual Cappadocia Balloon Festival. Often scheduled in the summer, the event attracts balloonists from around the world. Celebrating 23 festivals and counting, the schedule features competitive flying, awe-inspiring mass launches, nighttime glow shows, and of course, flights. In order to maintain high safety standards, ballooning is subject to weather delays and cancellation when Mother Nature isn't in the mood. To increase chances for a successful launch, plan to stay a couple of days. There will be plenty to explore. Some local caves have been converted into boutique hotels and present yet another way to experience an exotic corner of the world in style. Last but not least, in addition to a sunrise dotted with colored balloons and a sprawling network of underground tunnels and chambers, Cappadocia is also called the Land of Beautiful Horses. Equestrian tradition encourages exploring the area's ridges and valleys atop a saddle, and options for ranch stays and guided tours abound. Just be sure to match the ride with your own comfort level and experience, then giddy up and go. Yeah, look at all that. Isn't that remarkable? And then riding between these valleys on horseback sounds so nice. Next, we're going to the Golden Triangle in India. It says, in India, more is more. More people, colors, sights, sounds, celebrations, languages, decorations, spices, history, motorbikes, and, well, just more of absolutely everything. When traveling to the 7th largest country on the planet, have a plan before you go, but also be sure to leave unstructured time for serendipity, such as witnessing a wedding promenade, appreciating the skill of a snake charmer, or simply sitting with a cup of chai and watching the world go by. Delhi, Agra, and Jaipur are the trio of destinations that make up India's Golden Triangle. Travel by train or hire a car and driver. Pro tip, do not attempt to drive yourself. To explore a diverse culture that honors ancient traditions and spirituality alongside modern progress and innovation. Starting in Delhi. Book a guided tour of Old Delhi by cycle, rickshaw, or tuk-tuk, which is a 3-wheeled motorized vehicle that winds through the narrow lanes of the famously bustling, centuries-old Chandni Chowk Market. Here you can find jewelry and silver, spices, textiles, pottery, rugs, clothing, and everything in between. Ask for the best price and have fun. Next, ride over to the UNESCO-designated Red Fort, a dramatic 16th century complex enclosed by massive 75-foot red sandstone walls. Historically and architecturally important, the stunningly beautiful compound is composed of palaces, pavilions, entertainment halls, baths, indoor canals, an ornate mosque, and geometric gardens that became the model for the country's early landscape design. If time permits, make a visit to Gandhi Smriti, the home where Mahatma Gandhi spent the last year of his life. Preserved as a museum, it features the history and details of his remarkable time on Earth. There's the Red Fort right there. Isn't it beautiful? Next we go to Agra, which of course, the most famous site of Agra, if not all of India. Oh, we forgot to say the days. Whoops. Did I say Cappadocia? No, I was taken away by that picture. Forgot to say what days we're traveling. So Cappadocia is days 46 to 47. India is days 48 to 51. So 48, day 49, we're in Agra. In Agra, get up before dawn and watch the sunrise over the Taj Mahal, considered one of the 7 wonders of the modern world and listed as a cultural UNESCO heritage site. The white marble and jewel-encrusted mausoleum was built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his beloved wife Mumtaz Mahal. The enduring testament to everlasting love is also recognized by UNESCO as the greatest achievement of Indo-Islamic architecture in the world. And 5 nights a month, when the moon is full, 5 nights, maybe like the night the moon is full, and then the 2 days before and the 2 days after when it's still bright, like this. Not quite full, but pretty much. 5 nights of the month when the moon is full, tours of the Taj Mahal are available by starlight. That's amazing. And then we have Jaipur. Jaipur, known as the Pink City, due to the rose-colored sandstone used for its original buildings, was designed in the 18th century using the tenets of Hindu architectural theory, which is devoted to promoting the ideals of well-being and prosperity. Laid out in the pattern of an 8-section mandala, the streets and markets are planned north to south and east to west to form a grid. Today it is considered one of the most beautiful and culturally vibrant cities in India. Although architecturally important, the area is also a haven for artists of all mediums. Schedule a guided tour to meet local artisans or sign up to take a workshop and try your hand at weaving, textile dyeing, or Bagru block printing to create an unforgettable souvenir. If the performing arts are more your style, you can sign up to take a Bollywood dance class from a local choreographer. Learn how to perform basic steps to the soundtracks of some of the biggest Bollywood box office hits. Cooking classes, tasting tours, and even dining at the home of a local family in Jaipur are also ways to immerse yourself in local culture, step out of your comfort zone, and make new friends. Look at this sweet elephant down here. And isn't this remarkable? This is the Hawa Mahal, the Palace of the Wind. And there's that block printing, stamping design. Isn't that beautiful? He's painting an elephant there. Moving on, for day 52, we're going to have one night in Bangkok. Or maybe two is better. Yeah, it'd be kind of hard to do one night in Bangkok, but let's see. With only 24 hours in Bangkok, you'll want to make the most of every minute. We offer several bucket list ideas for your itinerary. Do them all, choose one, or simply use the inspiration below as a jumping off point to design your own adventure. Start the day by being the first to arrive at Wat Saket just before it opens. Climb the 318 short, wide steps that snake up and around the Golden Mountain Temple in the still, cool morning before anyone else. The 10 to 15 minute winding path will walk you past gardens, sculptures, and waterfalls. At the top, you will be rewarded with a panoramic view of the sun rising over the awakened city. Yeah, I did a video about Bangkok not long ago, and there's only one hill in the whole city, and this temple's on top of it. Next, head to the popular Dam Non Satwak floating market in Bangkok's Ratchaburi area, and hire a boat for a tour of Thailand's oldest river market. Once used as a setting for the 1974 James Bond movie, The Man with the Golden Gun, the photogenic experience is a riot of color, sights, scents, and sounds. Enjoy a breakfast of coconut pancakes, boat noodles, fresh fruit, or shop for souvenirs, clothes, artwork, orchids, and more. Be aware, however, that Dam Non Sadwak is a chaotic experience. Many other floating markets are not as famous but offer a more subdued afternoon. The Bang Nam Pung floating market is renowned for a wide variety of traditional Thai food, and the Ampawa floating market on the Mekong River is a scenic ride past quaint houses and charming riverfront cafes. Choose your adventure. Sorry for my Thai mispronunciations. Surely I didn't pronounce any of that right. I'm trying. Back on land, sidle on over to the Red Cross Snake Farm, the first of its kind in Asia. Established as a place to study, cultivate, and produce anti-venom for snake bites, the center includes an indoor and outdoor serpentarium, snake shows, a snake handling workshop with information on first aid, and a museum. I would love that. I love snakes. If your visit to the snake pit leaves you feeling a bit, well, tense, it's time to experience an authentic Thai massage. Practiced for more than 2,000 years, Thai massage, combining elements of Indian Ayurvedic traditions, Chinese medicine, and Thai healing practices, is meant to improve flexibility and mobility. Clothes remain on during a Thai massage, although loose, lightweight garments, i.e. not denim or stiff fabrics, are preferable. Spa services at most hotels offer Thai massage, or you can ask a concierge or tour guide for recommendation. Of course, you could always visit Wat Po, meaning the Temple of the Reclining Buddha, one of Thailand's most important temples, which hosts a massage school within its complex and has been educating students in the best practices of Thai massage since 1955. The temple, home to the country's largest reclining golden Buddha, measures 141 feet long, sits next door to the Grand Palace Wat Arun, the elaborately decorated and intricately detailed palace of the kings. Many tour companies offer combined tours of both properties, fostering an understanding of how they have evolved together over time. Bangkok weekends are famous for the Chatuchak Market, more commonly called the JJ Market, open to the public on Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Friday night until 9 p.m. when the booths are being set up. It features more than 15,000 stalls selling anything and everything. It's one of the largest outdoor markets in the world. Pace yourself. After the sun sets and the heat of the day recedes, Bangkok's famous night markets open all over the city, starting at 4 or 5 p.m. and going strong until midnight or later. Asiatique is a well-developed center, part shopping mall, part bazaar, that provides an abundance of food, including some American chain restaurants, and nighttime on the waterfront. You can see it here, Asiatique. For a more regional experience, the Chang Chui Bangkok Plain Market is located in the shadow of a grounded vintage Lockheed TriStar airplane and includes live music and upcycled sculpture and artwork throughout its maze of selling stalls. This pet and family-friendly bazaar is popular for its artsy indie atmosphere. Other night markets include the Jod Fairs, the Srinagarendra Train Night Market. Spoiler alert, there are no trains there. The One Ratchada Market, and more. And a busy day with a stroll through Paklong Talat, the bustling 24-hour flower market that sells both regional and imported blooms for both wholesale and retail. A kaleidoscope of color and scent, the market is considered to be the third largest resource for orchids in the world. And look at this photo of the market. My goodness, it looks like just like a light board from far away, but when you look close, look at this, they're all stalls. Isn't that amazing? So beautiful. Next, we're going to beautiful Bali for days 53 and 54. One of more than 18,000 islands that make up the vast network of Indonesian archipelagos, Bali offers sanctuary, spiritual renewal, and adventure for travelers from around the globe. Renowned for its sparkling clear water and abundance of vibrant sea life, the area is considered a snorkeling and scuba diving paradise. Calm seas invite beginners and experienced divers alike to sink beneath the waves and explore. Nusa Penida, a tiny, quiet island, a 30-minute fast boat ride off the southern coast of Bali, is believed to be the legendary home of Ratu Gede Mekaling, the Balinese king of magical powers, and a great place to go diving. Under the sea, divers may spot giant sunfish weighing more than 2,000 pounds, manta rays, sailfish, whale sharks, coral formations, and more. Above ground, the arid landscape, a haven for rare birds, is dotted with temples and small villages. In central Bali, the sacred monkey forest sanctuary in Ubud awaits. Home to more than 1,200 long-tailed Balinese macaques, the preserve is a complex of temples that date back to the 14th century. Besides being a haven for wildlife, it is considered a spiritual sanctuary as well. Dress accordingly, meaning no short shorts, crop tops, or bikini halters. Skip shiny accessories, monkeys covet them. And make sure your pockets are empty, the macaques are accomplished pickpockets. If you have a lock on your backpack or tote, use it. Otherwise, leave your luggage in your room. Finally, although monkeying around with the primates may seem like a good idea, it's wise to keep your distance. Don't risk rabies for the sake of a post on your social media. At the center of the sanctuary, look up. Hundreds of sleeping bats hang from the ceiling of the pavilions. This is not to be confused, however, with the actual Bat Cave Temple in Goalawa, which is thought to be more than 1,000 years old and features a cave inhabited by tens of thousands of fruit bats. Ubud is also the origin of the original jungle swing experience, which has gone viral on social media and spawned a number of copycat opportunities across the island. Giant swings, accompanied with safety harnesses, sway back and forth high above jungle treetops. Back on the ground, if bats and naughty monkeys aren't your thing, visit the island between the months of April and October. During this time, the Bali Sea Turtle Society releases turtle hatchlings into the sea after they have been safely incubated. The conservation effort aims to help the endangered sea turtles, which have been overhunted for their meat, eggs, and shells, and continues to thrive. Hinduism is the primary religious practice on Bali, and although there are many temples throughout the island, the Besikit temple complex is the largest and considered the most sacred. Featuring 22 different temples, this sanctuary, unlike others, is open to members of all caste classes. At an altitude of 3,000 feet on the southwest slope of Mount Agung on the eastern edge of the island, the spectacular grounds overlook rice fields, valleys, streams, forests, and towering volcanoes. Located in what is sometimes called the Ring of Fire, Bali is home to dramatic volcanoes that soar from the sea into the clouds, a siren call to hikers. Gunung Batukaru, or Batukau, is the second highest peak and offers a range of treks for a variety of abilities and interests. Many visitors choose to climb Batukau at sunrise, a challenging 3 to 4 hour ascent, to watch the island awaken. How wonderful. When I did my video on Bali, a lot of you left comments about your trips there, and it all sounded quite nice. But now we're flying across the ocean for days 55 to 56 to visit Kenya. Giraffe Manor in Nairobi, Kenya, is a luxury experience hosted at a historic manor that is also home to a herd of Rothschild giraffes. This species was formerly considered endangered, but the manor has successfully played a part in restoring its strength and number in the wild. The African nation of Kenya leads the world as a safari destination, but at Giraffe Manor, it is the animals who come to see you. Let me go like this real quick. A little easier for both of us to see. Beautifully preserved and elegantly furnished, the historic manor, detailed with dark wood wainscoting, gleaming parquet floors, plush furnishings, and walls of soaring paned windows, was built in 1932 as a hunting lodge. Decades later, in an ironic twist of fate, the romantic ivy-colored brick building now serves as a luxe getaway and a key outpost for the conservation and repopulation of endangered Rothschild giraffes. And the effort is working. Since 1979, when the African Fund for Endangered Wildlife, or AFEW, was established next door to the manor to help protect Kenya's small herd of giraffes, their numbers have grown from 100 to more than 1,800. Standing 16 to 20 feet tall and weighing about 2,500 pounds. My goodness, you don't realize that they're that heavy. The long-limbed animals enjoy a natural lifespan that extends to around 20 years, unless they fall prey to illegal poaching for their meat or hides, or the effects of a rapidly shrinking habitat. The giraffes that live in the indigenous forest surrounding the manor, however, have got it made. They are regularly invited to mingle with guests, albeit through open windows, at breakfast, and often return in the afternoon for a high tea on the patio. Guests observe protocols such as washing hands before touching the giraffes and feeding them only the approved pellets, and interactions are supervised by trained staff. Look at how charming. That's wonderful. Ever kissed a giraffe? Be bold and stick your neck out. Put a pellet of dried grass between your lips and allow the giraffe to swipe it. The saliva has antibacterial properties. Be warned, however, a giraffe's tongue can be 20 inches long. Photos and selfies are encouraged, as is posting about your giraffe encounter on social media with the hashtag #BehindTheSelfie, aimed at promoting awareness for the conservation of all breeds of giraffe. Want to do more? In addition to staying at the lodge, a small portion of your room cost is donated to AFEW. Animal-loving allies can also choose a giraffe to sponsor for $60 per year through Giraffe Manor. How wonderful. She's kissing a giraffe. I don't know. I've fed giraffes many times in my life. Long story. Their tongues will like wrap around your hand, and it's very slimy. Gross. Our last stop for the night for days 57 to 59 is a safari on horseback. It says yay or nay. Ha ha. Let's see. African safaris on horseback are a thing. And for horse people and those who want to be, they may be the ultimate adventure. Equestrian experiences in Africa are organized in several countries, including the Okavango Delta and Kalahari Desert of Botswana, the savannas of Kenya and Tanzania, game reserves in South Africa, and more. Rides are rated according to skill level, and there are offerings at every level from novice to advanced. Rides can last from a few days to more than a week and range from roughing it to all-out luxury glamping. Some tours depart and return to the same lodge every day, exploring different trails throughout your stay. I'd like that one. Other operations ride from lodge to luxury lodge, often offering candlelight dinners beneath a canopy of stars, hot tubs overlooking the savannah, gourmet meals, fine wine, and fluffy down duvets. Okay, maybe that one is better. It may not be heaven, but you can see it from here. The animals you can expect to see and the type of terrain you hope to experience depend upon the time of year. Wet season versus dry season transforms the landscape and everything on it. Some tours will teach you how to track rhinos, others will take you on night drives on the reserve or show you a migration in real time. Lions, cheetahs, leopards, wildebeests, flamingos, elephants, zebras, buffalo, giraffes, and more. But is it safe? Or are you riding on the back of prey animals into an ambush of hungry lions waiting patiently for their lunch? Peace of mind is meant to be found in the experienced guides logging 10 plus years in the role, hired to escort you on the journey, who know the terrain, the animals, and the safety protocols. A rider's own experience and horsemanship is also a factor in determining who can ride into an area with big game or not. Know your limits. At the end of the day, as riders gather around a campfire beneath a million twinkling stars, there will be stories to tell. And yeah, you can see them riding along with these. Looks like there's some wildebeest, there's zebras, and maybe a gazelle there too. How wonderful. This is not a dream. Well, this is going to be it for our adventure tonight. We'll finish our journey next week. So if you enjoyed the style of content, be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Also, don't forget to give this video a little like as well. I'd appreciate it. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good